Hi everybody. I just want to talk quickly about some techniques or strategies to monitor for student learning. One of the things that we heard about at our monitoring for learning training this fall was this idea of no hands up, that we want to try to get a response from all students or engage all students. And one of the best ways to do that is to use a mini whiteboard. Now, not every class in our district has mini whiteboards or access to the markers or erasers or things like that that you might need, but every student in our district has an iPad. The iPad can be used, and I'm going to talk in a minute about some apps that work on the iPad, as a digital mini whiteboard, and that allows us to eliminate markers, erasers, in the whiteboard and sort of eliminate students having to manage those, keep track of those, or teachers having to manage those or keep track of those. The other thing that a digital whiteboard does is it allows us to create sort of a running record, because they don't have to be erased. The two tools I'm going to recommend, or the two apps I'm going to recommend, we can just continue on. We can move on to a new slide or onto a new page, and still use that for billboarding or as the mini whiteboard. So it's a great formative assessment tool. You can use it in the moment, have the students hold them up. You can also then have them at the end of, say, the day, send you the formative assessment, send you their running record of the things that they've placed and that they've put on their whiteboard. And so that's a great way to sort of have artifacts of learning. It's also a great way to reflect upon what the students learned or showed that they learned that day. And it's also a way to kind of use it as a tracking mechanism to show student growth over time. The other apps that I evaluated are listed here. Many of them have potential as acting as a mini whiteboard. But all of them had some hiccups or things that were less appealing to me. Some of them required you to set up an online account. Others had other costs associated with them. Or if you didn't pay and you got the free version, you get the ads that go along with those, which can be really distracting to kids. And there was a variety of other sort of distractions that went along with them. So Explain Everything is a great app to use for as a digital whiteboard or for billboarding. So you can have your students go ahead and create and explain everything. They're going to open it up, hit the plus sign, select a color template. I'm just going to select the black, red, blue on a white here, and it's going to open this up. One of the nice things about Explain Everything is you can add slides kind of like you would in a presentation software. To get started, I'm going to have the students, or I'm going to hold down on the pencil and select a bigger, kind of thicker pencil size. And so the teacher might ask a question. Might be, what is the part of the cell that controls the rest of the cell or acts like the brain? And the students can go ahead and type in, or write out, nucleus. And then I want them to move on to the next slide. We're going to jump into math class. And so I hit the plus button, and I need another slide. This might be in the same class, but I want to know what 12 plus 12 is. And so the kids can write 24. I'm going to jump into another slide. Maybe I want to have them spell out Mississippi. I'm underline in black. I'm going to switch back colors. And so there's my answer. One of the nice things, the really nice things about Explain Everything is instead of erasing, you can just hit the plus button, add a new slide, but you also have a running record. And so if I touch the slides down here, I can see all of the different slides that I have here. When I'm all done, I can go ahead and export this, and I can send it to Google Drive. Once I send it to Google Drive, and from there, I could actually upload to Schoology if I wanted to sort of like keep this for forever, or if as a teacher I wanted to look back over what they answered at the end of the day. So you can use it for billboarding. You can also turn this in and use it sort of as a running formative assessment tool in class. Notability can be used as a mini whiteboard or billboarding app in class. So you can have each student open up Notability. They're going to add a new note up here in the upper right hand corner. And you'll see a blank note pop up. Lots of screen space to use. They can select what they're going to use to write with up at the top. So I'm going to hold down the pencil. I ask them to hold down the pencil. I'm going to ask them to make it fairly big. And then I'm going to select a color that I can see well. So I'm just going to select black. It's probably going to be the best one. What is 4 plus 4? Student can answer 8. Hold that up. Have the whole class hold it up so that the teacher can see and assess what every student's understanding. Then the students just take 2 fingers, swipe down, 2-finger swipe down, we can get that 8 out of the way. Next question is 12 plus 12. 12 plus 12. Ooh. I'm going to write 12 plus 12. Okay, for my own thinking. Then I'm going to scroll down. The answer is 24. We can hold that up for the teacher to see. Maybe in biology we ask, what is the part that controls a cell, kind of the brain of a cell. The students write nucleus. We can hold that up for the teacher to see. And we can continue doing this. And so you can have a running record of the notes for all day. One of the nice things about Notability is that it shares with Google Drive. So they can go ahead and hit the share with Google Drive. I guess out of Notability, they could also share directly to, they could upload this note to Schoology and turn it in if this is an assignment or if this is something that you just wanted to, sort of check on or keep track of. So we just saw 2 examples of apps that can be used for digital whiteboarding via the iPad. I'd like to point out that this is not a new tool, or this idea is not new as an engagement strategy. And in fact, I think it's probably sort of seeing a revival. But the 3 things that the digital tools can do that the sort of analog tools of the past, the slates or whiteboards, couldn't, is they can be saved as a running record. They can be shared with the teacher to reflect back on later, and for the student to reflect back on, for that matter. And it eliminates a lot of management pieces. You don't have to manage markers or chalk, eraser, and the actual board. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be glad to help you out.